8:30 a.m. exactly, South African time. We're crossing over now to Palestine, and we'll be talking with Ali Al-Murda'a. And of course, the big question, or rather the story or the narrative going around the rest of the Western world, is that the genocidal Israeli army supposedly killed fighters in the Al-Tabin school massacre. They are claiming that they've killed at least 19 members of Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad in its attack on the school in Gaza City. But we understand that there are more accounts coming out that this is an incorrect narrative. The names that they've published of some of the supposed fighters are people that have already been killed a little while ago. So let's hear from Ali Al-Murda'a. What exactly is the story here and what is happening currently on the ground? Assalamu alaikum to you, Ali. Welcome to the program. And once again, with a broken heart, we speak with you this morning about the ongoing genocide in Palestine.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. Welcome to the program.
I'm really sorry, it's extremely noisy where I am right now, so you're going to hear a lot of background noise. Regarding that topic, ever since the beginning of the fight, we've noticed that the Palestinian resistance has been releasing videos and a lot of documents about them targeting the Israeli invaders, whereas the Israeli army only once published a video about them eliminating our resistance fighters. Other than that, ever since the beginning of the conflict, the Israelis been attacking the Palestinian civilians, and it's a narrative that they have everywhere, not just in Palestine, but also in Lebanon, Syria, everywhere around the world. They try to target civilians because they do understand we will always bear more collateral damage than them.
Now, Rami Abdul, a Palestinian national and chairman of the Geneva-based Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor, has written a piece after investigating sources on the ground that of the 19 people identified by the Israeli military, at least 3 were killed in prior incidents and 9 were civilians, including university and municipality officials. At this point, after this massacre, do you have more information to support that claim? And can you tell us that it is, in fact, civilians that were massacred rather than, as they are claiming, as the genocidal army is claiming, that 19 members of Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad had been killed?
I don't know what army in the world would justify such act, assuming that their narrative is correct, which is unlikely. They've been lying ever since the creation of the Zionist state. But ever since, they claim that we targeted, we killed, we did that, we killed, for instance, Yahya Sinwar, the new spokesman, or the new leader of Hamas. They claim that they killed him multiple times and they failed miserably. And they say, yeah, we killed him this time. I don't see the narrative is going to be any different from what happened during the attack on the school. And even if they managed to kill 19, even if they managed to eliminate our resistance fighters, is it worth it to kill all these children, all these people who are seeking God for refuge and pray? What army would justify such acts?
Absolutely. It's unbelievable what is happening in your part of the world. Last week, before this latest atrocity at the Al-Tabin school, world news or the international news was carrying stories about a couple of Israeli soldiers that would be investigated for the rape of Palestinian girls. I presume it was girls. Is there any more news on that story? And how much of the international stories that we pick up outside of Palestine is actually available to the people in Palestine? And I kind of also wonder how much of truth and how much of propaganda is fed to us by these genocidal murderers.
I mean, they've always used rape and psychological warfare as a weapon. They've been torturing our prisoners ever since the creation of the illegal state of Israel. In addition to that, before the 1948, during the several and multiple massacres that happened to expel the Palestinian people from Palestine, rape was used as a weapon. And I do remember when I was a young kid, whenever I do visit my friend, his grandmother was one of these survivors. Unfortunately, like, she passed away several years ago, but I do remember whenever she speaks about what they did to her, and she was only 9 years old. Right now, the images coming out from the prisons in Israel does not shock me. This is something that, as Palestinians, we've endured, we've experienced, we've been talking about it for a lot of years. A lot of NGOs are covering that, but unfortunately, the world is refusing to listen. The world is refusing to look at Israel and hold it accountable about all the atrocities that they've been doing. And if the world does not change, Israel will never change. No, first of all, like, I do believe that Israel, the state of Israel, should not be existing and should be gone.
Ali, before I let you go, the line is not very clear, but let's try and get as much as we can out of this interview, inshallah. The breaking news that we've also received is that Hamas has withdrawn from the ceasefire negotiations, and they've gone on to say that they won't participate in the planned August 15 round of negotiations mediated by the US, Egypt, and Qatar. And I quote, they go on to say, we demand from the mediators a plan to implement what we accepted on the 2nd of July, according to Biden's vision, and oblige the occupation to do so instead of new negotiations. Now, what are you guys hearing on the ground, and how do you feel about this latest announcement by Hamas withdrawing from ceasefire negotiations? Do you, as the people on the ground, believe that it's going to worsen your situation? But I hasten to also add, how much more worse can your situation get? I mean, it is absolutely unimaginable. But do you believe that this is going to create that much more hardship, or do you believe this is the right stance that Hamas is taking?
I do believe, and I do believe that majority of Palestinian people share this. We do trust Hamas in the negotiation. We do trust their judgment. What they're doing for the benefit of the Palestinians. And I do understand if they withdraw from the negotiation, it's going to be to the benefit of the Palestinian people. I do believe as well that the Palestinians themselves are not the ones who are holding the negotiation. It's Netanyahu himself. He's trying to save his political career by getting something out of this war, because so far all the Israeli media, all the Israeli politicians see that they failed miserably and they did not win this war. So he needs to get something out of it just to preserve and secure his political career. For the Palestinians, we do trust our leaders. We do trust them very well, and we do understand that whatever they are doing for the benefit of the Palestinians, not themselves. A lot of these leaders have been killed, have been starved, and they experience the same thing that Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank are experiencing.
Currently, there is mass displacement all around Gaza and the greater part of Palestine. Where are the people headed for? And will they ever be safe wherever they move to, from place A to place B? That is, of course, the master plan as far as the genocidal occupiers are concerned. They're playing a cat and mouse game with the people in Palestine. They're truly using the strongest warfare that they possibly can, and that is psychological warfare. Ali, are you there? Have we lost you? Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately. We've lost the connection with Ali al-Murda'a. We were talking about the shocking revelation where Israel has claimed to the Western world that they killed 19 Gaza and Palestinian resistance fighters in the Al-Tabin school massacre. So that is how they have justified the senseless killing of what I think, from what I've read and seen, is a lot of innocent young people in that school. And I think the horror will continue. And as I have indicated a little earlier on in the show, is that this is turning into a Holocaust. And yet, and despite that, the whole world is has chosen to ignore the situation playing out in Palestine. It is exactly 8:42 a.m. News and Views on Salam Media with me, Julie Ali. Next, we're going to speak to the head of mission for Sudan, Doctors Without Borders, regarding Sudan's catastrophe.